way to thank his father. For years, his dad would not smile because of the way his teeth looked. Like any good father, he put his children first, and there was nothing left to address his own dental needs. So here's part of a letter that Jeremy Singleton wrote to give his dad something to finally smile about.
Dad was the one who always set his needs aside for us. He is a big-hearted, wonderful man who always gives of himself to others. Around 17, I told my dad I really wanted to do something about my teeth. He agreed they needed to be fixed because I was young and appearances played such a big factor in young people's lives. But mine were not nearly as bad as his. Nonetheless, and several $1,000s later, my teeth were fixed. And of course, my younger brother was facing braces as well. Dad never batted an eye or complained not once because he did what he felt he had to do for us. We both had beautiful teeth and great smiles, and over the years, our dad became embarrassed and withdrew his smile so that others could not see the condition of his teeth. He has a great, big, happy smile that he hardly ever shows. Once you meet my dad, you will see that I'm not just bragging because he's my dad, but because he is the most amazing man.
Oh, Jeremy. Thank you. And in just a little bit, we'll see how Jeremy's dad got his smile and confidence back. It's an amazing difference. Those kinds of stories are why Dr. Derek Tieken got into this business in the first place. So please welcome him to the show this morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
You know, when we say cosmetic, a lot of times people dismiss that as just kind of vanity, if you will, but it really means self-esteem, and you see that all the time.
Absolutely. You know, this business gives me a unique opportunity to change people's lives with a smile.
Yeah. This particular gentleman, tell us how he came to you.
We put together a makeover team a few years ago, and by doing that, we were able to select really those people that really couldn't afford or have the wherewithal to be able to do some of the services. And by doing that, we were able to give back to the community, and thanks to Jeremy's wonderful letter, that got his dad accepted.
Yeah, and by doing that, you also saw how critical the need was.
Oh, absolutely.
So some of those could be subtle changes that make big differences, but as we mentioned earlier, you can also make very big changes, and we did that in Joey Singleton. You heard Jeremy read the letter about his dad earlier. And again, can we see Joey before, his teeth before? And again, the major problems with his teeth were?
Joey really came to us with, you know, teeth that really never came into position. He had, you know, some gum problems and you know, just a lot of areas broken down, decay, and that kind of thing. And we just rebuilt his whole smile.
Yeah. All right. Do you want to see what Joey looks like now? Yeah. Come on out here, Joey. Wow. Wow. And he's smiling. Okay, so Joey, what was it like to hear your son read that letter? What did you think when you found out that that's how you got this makeover?
It was very emotional.
Yeah.
At the time. I mean, and just, I don't know, just because I never thought anything about what I was doing for them. That was just my part of being a
good father. Yeah. And so when he said you won this makeover, was that like a weight lifted off your shoulders? Because it was something that you wanted to do. We saw in all those pictures that you weren't smiling at all.
No. I'd pretty much quit smiling. I'd give a smile with no teeth. So yeah. I just couldn't show my teeth. They embarrassed me.
And it's crazy for someone to not smile because they would be embarrassed.
Right. And you know, what's interesting is that you see men grow beards or long mustaches, or you see women that won't wear bright lipstick because they don't want to attract, you know, and have people focus on that.
Right, right. Okay, so when all the work was done and you looked in the mirror for the first time.
Oh. Again, very emotional. I guess that's two of the first times I've cried in a long time.
And Jeremy, when you saw him, and what changes have you noticed in him since then?
Boost in self-confidence and just overall happy person in general.
And a good-looking devil, I must say. find that people respond to in a different way? Because sometimes when we're not smiling, we're not being rude, but when you're not smiling, it sends a different message to people.
I find a lot of people don't recognize me.
Wow.
Actually, the day after the reveal, I went to see my mother and stepfather of 20-something years. I walked up to him, and he actually asked me, could he help me 3 times. He didn't know who it was.
That's amazing.
He didn't recognize me.
That is amazing.
It was a pretty good shock for him.
Well, what were you going to say?
Well, it was because after the reveal, they hadn't seen me for the whole year just about. So I drove 400 miles to show them, basically. And seriously, he didn't recognize me at all.
Well, you look fantastic. You all did great work. And, they say there's that $1 million smile. This is not even $1 million smile. This is priceless.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.